Welcome to my sewing journey. Today I am doing a snow globe style ornament, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's a good scrap buster. This is sort of what it looks like. Now, here's a larger one. Here's a one in the making, another one, and a Halloween themed one. Now you can use these for other holidays as well, such as Thanksgiving, Halloween, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter. Or you could put a cross stitch in there, or a fancy embroidery, or needlepoint, or just an initial of the person you want to give it to for like a birthday one or an anniversary one. Now, how I did this is quite simple. I drafted my own pattern. And I started out making like a circle and then lopping off just a little sliver of the bottom to make the globe part that will sit on the stand part. And I used a coffee lid to trace around, and that turned out to be 5.5 inches if you're doing inches. If you do centimeters, 13 centimeters. At the widest point, it was 6 1/4 inches or 16 centimeters. Now, its stand has to kind of look like they belong together, so you have to make it long enough. This one, I did 3 3/4 high or 8 centimeters, and that would be the height this way. The length was 8 1/4 inches, or let's see, 21 centimeters. So that's the one for the large. For the tiny guys, I'll start with the stand first. It was 1 inch, and across was 3 3/4 and 3 3/4 high. Okay, so they're not that big, but they are, like I said before, a lot of fun to do, and they do use up your scraps. I would suggest putting your motif on there, maybe even mapping it out on paper first. This one's a kitty with poinsettias. This one, I probably should have done the background fabric a little darker, but it's a moon with trees in a wintertime. This one's a Halloween theme one, obviously, because it's a jack-o'-lantern. This one, I really like this fabric. I thought it was pretty, so I just used the fabric and nothing else. And the big guy here was just some felt on there. For some reason, my camera is making the tree brown, and yet it's green. I don't understand why, but it is doing that. And I just basically cut out triangles for the tree. Nothing fancy there. The fireplace was just brown scraps around with a black in the center and a different color brown for the logs. It really wasn't anything fancy. So after you get your motif on, then you will take another piece of fabric, sew right sides facing together, but leave yourself a little opening to turn to the right side. Before you turn it to the right side, you might want to clip the edges so the circle lies completely flat. Then you'll turn it to the right side. Next, you'll take your stand. You'll sew right sides facing together, leaving the top of the stand wide open. And you will put, after you turn to the right side, and if you need to clip your edges to get your edges to lay flat, you'll do that. I didn't need to do that on this one. Then you'll put it with your circle going into the stand, and you will fold the fabric over to cover all the raw edges and just sew it straight across. And you'll do the same thing on the back. This one I put a little cardboard in. You can make these to hang off of a tree, or you can make them into greeting cards, whichever you please. Thank you for joining me today on my Christmas in July. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for viewing, and happy sewing.